like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that?
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready. 15, line it. 15 line. Watch the run. Hey.
47 up.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 21-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's complete. It's Collins. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? And the West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Second down and inches. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On the ground, this is Kamara. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Here's second and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part and got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
2nd and 9 now. He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hey, exit. Recon. 130. Go.
Back to throw here. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Mike's 47. Mike 5.
On second down, it's Drake. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Back to throw. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before we get a good head of steam going.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
Go.
Second and 10. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Protein spill.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's caught, the tight end Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And down to the 29-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Check, 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 check.
Go.
Motion. 43 is the mic.
Hey, Alpha.
Let's go, Heavy.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Here we go. Here we go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll look to throw here. Thomas has got it. Complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll set up a throw. Forced out to his left. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
For the field goal. A 46-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
throwing the made field goal. Lutz to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the toss play, this is Drake. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Greystone, travel. Hey, orbit.
2nd and 4. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Jerome Baker able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. Here we go. Mike's 43. Mike's 43. You remember me?
Ready to go.
Let's go, baby.
They'll set up to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Returnable for Grant. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Ready.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. But now it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
He'll look to throw. Out to his left. And some space. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football.
A touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They couldn't get anything going there out of the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line.
Kill.
6-6. Pull it high. Ready.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. He was looking that time for Stills. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
Brings up second and 11 at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it. A loss of a yard. It's now third and 13.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's fourth down.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here comes Grant on the return. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. Checking in on Houston. It's in the fourth quarter there. And give that one to the Texans as they wind up winners. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. He'll drop to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Down. 10 logo.
Check, 47. I got you.
Back to throw now on first down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Get it.
They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was looking for Parker that time, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. So this